I'm Nicole Slowey, I'm the Director of Professional Services and Brand at Qdos, and in this video today we're going to be talking about making tax digital. Making tax digital, or MTD, is part of the government's plans to digitalise and revolutionise tax returns, and it's been a long time coming. In actual fact, it's been on a government roadmap since 2015. It's been a long road and there's been lots of bumps and changes along the way. The idea is simple. It's moving people away from an annualised paper-based tax return to a more regular, quarterly digital return that will require people to utilise digital accounting softwares to make sure that you can actually send this information to HMRC. This means no more shoeboxes full of receipts. The aim is to make it simpler for people to submit their tax returns, increase the level of accuracies and give people a huge amount more control when it comes to actually understanding their tax position and their cash flow position. MTD is being phased in gradually. So from April 2022, all VAT registered businesses were required to adhere to MTD. From April 2026, individuals who are either self-employed or landlords and earning over £50,000 a year will be required to make those submissions. From April 2027, that threshold drops to those individuals making £30,000 a year or more, if you're self-employed or if you're a landlord again. And then from 2028, that threshold drops further again to £20,000. So if you are a self-employed individual or a landlord, it's more of a case of when as opposed to if you're going to be required to make those submissions via MTD. In practice, it means moving away from an annual return to a quarterly return. You'll be required to do this using approved bookkeeping or digital accounting software. It's not that you need to provide a significant amount of detail in these returns. Ultimately, it will be a high-level submission covering your income and your expenses for the affected period. Thinking about it as checking little and often. Ultimately, from an individual taxpayer's perspective, it gives you more control. You are more regularly thinking about your tax position, which gives you a clearer view of how much money you will need to put away or how much money you'll be required to pay to HMRC, which then in turn gives you a greater degree of control, visibility and understanding over your tax flow position. In addition to that, the fact that you are doing it more regularly will make you more familiar with being on top of your taxes. The fact that you're doing digitally, I would hope, and HMRC is also hoping, that this should increase the level of accuracy that are in people's submissions as well, all the while giving you more control and actually giving you the opportunity to become much more comfortable with digital tools and also become more in control of your finances overall as a small self-employed business. So there are definitely worries for people who are facing into moving into MTD. It is a big step change going from those annual submissions to quarterly submissions. So when you're self-employed and your time is precious, you are potentially going to have to spend more time more regularly on making your submissions. In addition to that, you will need to utilise some sort of digital bookkeeping or accountancy software. Most of these tools come at a price. But what I would always suggest is check who your banking provider is. They typically often have these types of softwares that come with your banking. A broader concern is actually how much it's cost the government to introduce the programme. Back in 2016, the initial estimates were that MTD was going to cost in the region of £220 million. At the last check in 2023, and future forecasts for fully delivering the programme, is that it's actually going to cost into several billions of pounds. So it's no wonder the programme itself has been subject to significant change and significant scrutiny. In addition to that, there is general widespread concern that not enough people know that MTD is coming in. The government is definitely ramping up on its education. HMRC are leading a lot of webinars. You might see some social media based campaigns that are educating people, all of which is welcome. I think that the government and advisors into the space in terms of people who perhaps provide accountancy support, tax support, any services in respect of bookkeeping or tax submissions can absolutely continue to take forward education and lift the profile of MTD to make sure individuals who are going to be required to adhere to the new regime are fully aware, have plenty of time to prepare and know exactly what is expected of them. The best and most sensible place to start is to understand when exactly the rules are going to apply to you, whether that's 26, 27 or in fact 2028. I would absolutely recommend that you start to keep digital records. So whether that's your own records, if perhaps it's not until 2028 you need to consider the rules, or actually start to experiment and trial some digital bookkeeping or accountancy software packages. So whether that be the likes of a free agent or a Xero, whether that be a proprietary bookkeeping or tax planning package that comes with your bank account. Lots of those small micro SME business banking providers have those additional tools. It's important to try because some may or may not work for you. Also speak to your accountant if you have one. They might have some digital tools that are available as part of your accountancy packages, and they may also generally just have advice for you in terms of making sure that you understand the expenses piece and what's allowable from a business expense perspective, and just general hints and tips on how you can stay on top of your digital records. If you want additional peace of mind, there are also insurance products and services that can support you in respect of where you may be subject to a tax investigation. Whether that's a legal expenses insurance via Qdos, a tax inquiry scheme via your accountancy provider, there's plenty of opportunities for you to think of other ways in which you can mitigate your risk to ensure that you're considering making sure you're adhering to the new rules correctly, making correct submissions to HMRC, appropriately keeping records and digital accounts in respect of those income and expense points. And in actual fact, if the worst occurred and you are subject to any form of inquiry via HMRC, these insurance policies and the experts that support them, like they do with Qdos, are there to support you and hold your hand through any sort of engagement with HMRC in respect of a particular inquiry. Thanks for watching our video today. Now, to stay up to date on further progression around MTD or other issues affecting the self-employed in the UK, please subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media.